Meet Mr. Sticky. He woke up every morning with a heavy chest, no motivation, no direction, no idea why he even got out of bed. He had dreams once, big ones, but somewhere between the failures, the rejections, and the endless comparison to others, he stopped believing in himself. Sound familiar? Because here's the truth. Most people live their entire lives exactly like Mr. Sticky did. Stuck, scared, settling. But one day, Mr. Sticky discovered a set of ancient principles. Principles used by Roman emperors, generals, and the most powerful minds in history. And everything changed. This is that story. And more importantly, this is your story too. The problem, why Mr. Sticky was stuck. Mr. Sticky's biggest problem wasn't his circumstances. He didn't grow up rich. He didn't have connections. He didn't have a fancy degree. But that wasn't what was holding him back. His real problem was something much harder to fix. His own mind. Every morning, he woke up and immediately reached for his phone, scrolling, comparing, watching other people live the life he wanted. And with every scroll, a little voice in his head whispered, "That's not for you. You're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. Just stay comfortable." Psychologists call this the comparison trap. When you constantly measure your behind the scenes against everyone else's highlight reel, you will always lose. But Stickman didn't know that yet. He also had another invisible enemy, something the ancient Stoics called Amor Fati in reverse. Instead of loving his fate and using it as fuel, Stickman resented everything that had happened to him. His failed business, his broken relationship, his dead-end job. He carried all of it like a backpack full of rocks. Every single day. And the weight was suffocating him. Until the night everything hit rock bottom. It was 2 a.m. Mr. Sticky sat outside on a cold bench. He had just lost his job. His savings were gone. His confidence was completely destroyed. And in that moment of total darkness, he asked himself a question he had never asked before. What do I actually control? That one question changed everything. The discovery. The Stoic principles. The next morning, Mr. Sticky found an old book in a secondhand store. It was called Meditations, written by Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who ruled over millions, yet spent every morning writing letters to himself about self-discipline, acceptance, and mental strength. Mr. Sticky bought it for $1. That $1 changed his entire life. Stoic principle number 1. The Dichotomy of Control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Mr. Sticky had spent years trying to control things he never could. What people thought of him, whether the economy would improve, whether his ex would come back. He was fighting battles that were never his to fight. The Stoics taught a radical idea. Divide everything in your life into 2 buckets. Bucket 1, things you can control. Your attitude, your effort, your habits, your response. Bucket 2, things you cannot control. Other people, the past, the economy, the weather. Here's the rule. Pour all your energy into bucket 1 and completely release bucket 2. When Mr. Sticky started doing this, his anxiety dropped by half within 2 weeks. Not because his situation changed, but because he stopped wasting energy on what was never in his hands. Stoic principle number 2, Memento Mori. Remember you will die. Now before you think this is dark, hear me out. The Stoics believed that reminding yourself of death every single day was not depressing. It was liberating, because when you truly internalize that your time is limited, you stop wasting it. You stop spending hours arguing on social media. You stop delaying the project you've been putting off for 3 years. You stop waiting for the right moment that never comes. Mr. Sticky started writing one sentence every morning. "I will not live forever. What matters today?" This simple ritual forced him to prioritize ruthlessly. Within a month, he had finished an online course he'd been meaning to start for 2 years. He had rebuilt his savings plan. He had cut off 3 toxic relationships that were draining his energy. Death became his greatest motivator. Stoic principle number 3, Amor, Fati. Love your fate. Friedrich Nietzsche, deeply influenced by the Stoics, coined this phrase. It means this: don't just accept what happens to you. Don't just tolerate it. Love it. Every failure, fuel. Every rejection, redirection. Every painful experience, a lesson that makes you stronger. Mr. Sticky had been running from his past for years, his failed business, his broken family, the humiliations he had faced. But when he learned Amor Fati, he stopped running. He turned around, looked at every painful memory, and said, "Thank you. You made me who I am, and I'm just getting started." Stoic principle number 4, Premeditatio Malorum, prepare for the worst. The Stoics had a daily practice. Every morning, they would visualize everything that could go wrong that day. Not to be pessimistic, but to be ready. Because here's what happens when you're mentally prepared for difficulty. You stop being afraid of it. Mr. Sticky started doing this. Every morning he'd ask, "What's the worst that can happen today, and how will I handle it?" And a strange thing happened. The anxiety disappeared. When you've already faced the worst in your mind, reality feels manageable. The transformation. Slowly, Mr. Sticky began to change. Not in dramatic, overnight ways, but in small, daily, invisible ways. He started waking up at 5 a.m., not because a guru told him to, but because the morning was the 1 hour that belonged entirely to him, before the world demanded anything. He used that hour for one thing only, building himself. Some days it was reading, some days journaling, some days just sitting in silence, which the Stoics called contemplation. He stopped checking his phone first thing in the morning. That one change alone, research shows, can reduce anxiety by up to 37%. He also made one ruthless decision. He cut out everything that wasn't moving him forward. The toxic friends who mocked his ambitions, gone. The shows he watched for 4 hours every night, replaced with 1 hour of skill building. The social media accounts that made him feel inferior, unfollowed. The Stoics called this via negativa, the power of subtraction. Sometimes the fastest way to grow is not to add more things to your life. It's to remove the things that are pulling you backward. Within 90 days, Mr. Sticky's entire life looked different. Not because luck changed, not because circumstances magically improved, but because he changed. And here's what nobody tells you about personal transformation. It's boring. It's not cinematic. There's no dramatic music playing. No one is cheering for you. It's just you, alone, doing the same unglamorous thing day after day after day, going to bed when you'd rather stay up, reading when you'd rather scroll, working on your goals when you'd rather watch Netflix. That's the secret the gurus won't sell you in a course. Discipline is not motivation. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes. Discipline is a decision. You make it once, then you honor it every single day. The lesson. What this means for you. So what does Mr. Sticky's story mean for you? It means this: you are not behind, you are not broken, you are not too late, you are exactly where you are supposed to be at the beginning of a decision. The decision to stop outsourcing your happiness to circumstances, to stop waiting for permission to become who you're capable of being. Marcus Aurelius was not born a great emperor. He became one through decades of deliberate self-work, journaling, failure, and recommitment. You have the same 24 hours he had. Here are your 4 Stoic rules, starting today. Rule 1. Every morning, ask yourself, what is in my control today? Focus only on that. Rule 2. Write one sentence. I will not live forever. What matters today? Then act on the answer. Rule 3. Find one thing from your past that hurt you and thank it for making you stronger. Rule 4. Every evening, ask, did I do my best today? Not, was I perfect? Just, did you try? These 4 rules, every single day, that is the entire formula. Mr. Sticky still has hard days. He still faces setbacks, still makes mistakes, still has moments of doubt, but here's what's different now. He doesn't stay down because he knows the ancient secret that the most powerful humans in history all understood. You cannot control life, but you can always control how you respond to it. And in that response lies all the power you will ever need. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more stories like this, built on timeless wisdom that actually works in the real world, subscribe, because Mr. Sticky's journey is just beginning, and so is yours.